Hello everyone. First thing, sorry for my shitty accent. Also, talking like this is a real difficult exercise for me, so please be indulgent. My name is Mathieu Pizzolante. I developed a scatter add-on specialized in the natural distribution of instances, completely procedural and non-destructive. It's just a tool, no assets are provided with it. I recently launched a version 2.0 with a lot of new features. So in this video, I will present each parameter and explain how to use it. First thing, we can install it by simply dragging and dropping the zip in Blender. We can see that a new MP scatter panel has appeared. We have access to two options, create new bridge and create new scatter layer on selected bridge. What is a bridge? A bridge is an empty object that only serves to host the geometry node and to have access to its parameters by selecting it. So if we click on create new bridge, we can see that a bridge has been created and that a scatter layer is already applied to it. Let's imagine that I want to add a scatter layer. For example, this one will be my grass. I would like to create another one for my trees. I can select my bridge and press create new scatter layer on selected bridge. This way we can add as many scatter layers as we want. I can also create as many bridges as we want. Personally, I like to have several to separate the scatters of my foreground from those of my background. I can also rename them without problem. When you select an object, you can see a third parameter in the panel, viewport display. This is simply the parameter that is reported in this menu. It is used to optimize the viewport. I still recommend using the low poly geonodes. We will see them right after. Now we'll look at each parameter of the geometry node. What I like to do when I start distributing is to pin the bridge window so I can select another object while the window remains. The first panel is for terrain. We can quickly select a specific terrain or a collection if we have several. Then we can choose the instances we'll distribute by selecting the desired collection. For each collection there is a density and scale multiplier. Above we can select low poly to optimize the viewport. If you are rendering, the high poly value will be displayed. We can also use LODs, just activate them and select the collection. Then we can adjust the distance of each LOD from the camera. There is a fade parameter to blend the different LODs. In the scatter panel, you will find all the general settings. You can choose whether the distribution is random or based on points. The density, which you can reduce in the viewport in two different ways. The minimum distance between instances, the minimum and maximum scale, and the seed. Then, in the density selection panel, you will find all the masks related to density. The first is camera culling to optimize the scene as much as possible. Simply activate it and you can manage the offset, the maximum distance, activate a fade and a minimum distance to always have shadows on the camera. Next, you can create masks with noise. For this option only, you will need to enter the geometry node. Press tab to enter the group of the noise manager. 4 noise have already been created, but you can always duplicate them. They just need to be kept as attributes with different names. You can visualize the noise by connecting it to the viewer and displaying it. You can therefore completely customize your noise, which can be reused in all your scatter layers. Simply select the desired noise and select the color in which you want your instance to be distributed. You can use the eyedropper to go faster or copy and paste the hexadecimal. Then there is the slope mask, which will mask slopes that are too steep. There is a noise parameter to break the boundaries. The height mask is used to mask based on a height. You can also mask based on any attribute you've created yourself. Image mask used to mask based on black and white image. Weight paint is used to mask based on a group of vertices. For curve selection, you have two options. You can choose one or more closed curve to select everything inside, or select a non-closed curve and make a selection based on its contour. Geo-proximity mask is used to select based on the distance of a mesh. In the biome panel, you can make a selection based on a color image using the same system as for noise. Simply select the image and the desired color. The same applies to vertex paint and noise. You can therefore combine two selection noise, one via the density masks and one via the biomes. In the scale selection panel, you can influence the scale based on the noise mask, image and vertex group. In rotation, you can choose whether it's random on the z-axis, then choose which axis to align with and manage the randomization factor on the other axis. You can also add wind and adjust its parameters. You can enable it on certain LODs. You can also choose which LOD is a billboard, so it will face the camera regardless of its position. The breakdown panel is used to quickly break down your scatters. Simply activate it and manage the maximum height as well as the offset relative to the camera position. Thanks for watching. I know it must be a bit boring to listen to me talk like that. I hope it will be useful to you, even if I was a bit hasty. I leave my Instagram in description if you want to contact me for any question. I will answer. Ciao!